set to jump it up with Tyler Cook, and we're underway. Game one of the Cayman Island Classic.
We're going to keep an eye on Luka Garza for the Hawks, the sensational freshman for Iowa. Averaging 14 a game.
Inside, Gant. Running, no good, and Cook with the rebound.
Gant is the transfer from Missouri. The Raging Cajuns have three transfers in this tournament. That's how much depth this Raging Cajun team has.
Luka Garza, 6'11", a freshman, can shoot outside, and they take it to the rim. Travel in violation of the law. Two different possessions here to start the contest.
The new directives in college basketball from 2 years ago, heavy emphasis on watching the pivot foot, especially in the post. Garza, a little extra step here now. You see the three-quarter court press by the Iowa Hawkeyes. This is their staple.
It's expected to be a pretty up-tempo basketball game.
Well, look for the Raging Cajuns. Unless they sell in the title of score at the end of Iowa's press. When Iowa goes for the press to a man.
Yeah, three-point try, no good. The rebound ends up out of bounds into the Iowa basketball.
Well, Gant is not a prolific three-point shooter, but he can make those. Good challenge by Garza.
In the point guard position.
Against Marcus Stroman, who transferred from South Carolina for the Raging Cajuns.
He might have a heavy workload today as Cook takes it to the rim and scores the first points in this game.
And Malik Marquetti came to the late double team. Cook was too quick. You're going to see the Raging Cajuns going to double post to post. Try to stop this big Iowa front line.
Moss, top of the key three, in and out, no good.
Well, tasted the 10, man. It was down and popped back out. Isaiah Moss having an outstanding year, trying to pick up the scoring slack as he graduated. Peter Jock, who led the Big Ten in scoring last season.
Frank Bartley, BYU transfer, kicks it out. Shot clock down to 11 for the Raging Cajuns. Stroman on the drive, off the iron, no good. And Garza gets that tipped around the rebound. Here comes Bohannon.
Well, one of the keys for Iowa is connected on defense.
And another three-point shot rattling in and out for the Hawkeyes. Three-point try, Bartley. Rebound hauled in by Wagner for Iowa.
And Brad, it's been one and done for both teams. No second chance opportunities. Bohannon looking for a foul on that one.
Got some contact on the arm. That brings Fran McCaffrey up out of his seat. And all alone underneath, Jakeenan Grant, the 6'8 junior. It's the Raging Cajuns on the board. 2.5 minutes in.
Well, Garza got caught late in recovery. His partner Cook did not pick up Gant. Gant with a nice rim run by the transfer from Missouri.
So Isaiah Moss had 15 points. Iowa's win over Grambling State. Now a foul coming over the back. Beyond Malik Marquetti, the junior transfer from USC.
Now, we mentioned that Louisiana's got 3 transfers in their lineup, and a 4th if you talk Frank Bartley, second-year transfer from BYU. We've got some guys who started last year off the bench, and they're down a man right now. Jonathan Stove hurt an ankle. One of their starters. We'll see if he gets some action today. He tried to work out at practice yesterday. They expect him to play.
Was warming up here before the game. Inside to Cook.
Look for the double on the post.
Faces Washington, shoots over him and missed everything. Bartley with the basketball. Sunbelt Newcomer of the Year last season for the Raging Cajuns.
Reboot there by Marcus Stroman.
Feed inside and too tall for Bryce Washington.
And Bryce Washington, we highlighted him. 60% field goal shooter. He has not gotten any easy touches in this game. I really respected the talents of the senior Bryce Washington.
Bohannon on the drive, backs it out. Shot clock at 11 for Iowa. Backdoor cut, Moss wide open. Wagner on the assist.
Well, Frank Bartley got caught washing the paint dry out in the passing lane. Nice back cut.
Took an extra step before he put it down, and we got a timeout on the floor. Iowa, a 2-point lead after 3.5 minutes of play.
Brad, we said both these teams averaged over 81 a game.
1,000 career point mark.
Both teams trying to shake the rust off. It's from the travel plans. Louisiana 1 of 5 from the field. Iowa Hawkeyes 2 of 6. Half those shots have been from the outside the arc.
This is Moss with it. Good defense by Bartley up top. And Moss throws it away. Washington with the steal. Runs the floor with Bartley. And Marchetti took an extra step.
Cajuns playing just a little too fast right now. They've got to be quick, but don't hurry.
Nice looking gym floor here.
Well, this is a beautiful gymnasium. John Gray Gym. And the first basketball game played in this gymnasium, this movie day.
Team Mountain Sports Complex up at Georgetown on Grand Cayman Island.
Brad, this tournament's going to blow up. I mean, this is an outstanding field, but you have this beautiful gymnasium, the hospitality, the Cayman Islands, the beautiful beaches. Hey, I'm going to come every year, don't you?
Absolutely. Wonderful weather.
I'll tell you, I was really good with OB plays. Moss misfired, but Ryan McCaffrey, he's going to try and score me every time with an OB under.
He tries to get it inside. Gant receives the pass. Turnaround shot over top of Garza and Nunji. Jack Nunji checking in the game, the 6'11 freshman. And there's the takeaway by Washington.
How many touches by Bryce Washington? They've got to get him in a comfort zone. Good call. Stroman. Little chicken wing out to the push off. Jordan Bohannon.
Stroman whistled for the foul. Substitution. Up 11 for Iowa. Ryan Kriener checks in, as does Cordell Pemsel.
We talked about this depth, Brad. Here it comes. You already got Jack Nunji in, who's averaging 11 points off the bench. There's Nicholas Bear out with a broken finger. It's allowed Jack Nunji to get some playing time and really get comfortable in this lineup.
See him at the bottom of your screen there, catching it on the wing. Feeds it to Pemsel. Now Bohannon left open for three, and that's blocked away by Gant. And then the throw ahead to Gant. Throws it down.
Pick six by Gant. Gets a piece of it, then the run out.
Eyes it up at 4.
You said ball defense, now raising Cajuns. They can really move their feet that way. Frank Bartley.
Bohannon on the drive. A little fadeaway. Looked like that one was tipped by Stroman. Now the throw ahead for Marcus Stroman. Dishes it back and misses this one-handed slam.
You get those runouts, Brad. Gant with his hands on his head. You have to finish those. He's looking down inside the rim.
Some offensive jitterbugs here. 6+ minutes, and it's a 4-4 game. Substitution for Louisiana, Justin Miller, the 6'7" sophomore, comes into the game, as does Cedric Russell. TJ Hardy.
Keep an eye on Cedric Russell. He can flat out light it up. He's had in his first 2 games 5 triples and 6 triples. A great player out of Louisiana, just a freshman. And the Cajuns had to out-recruit some Power 5s to get Cedric Russell, number 0 in the red.
Greener working down low, flips it across the lane to Pemsel, able to finish with the left hand.
Now that double team, nice read by Ryan Kriener to find his teammate Pemsel.
Miller on the drive, backing down Greener. Wild shot. Now he clears the rebound.
Miller was one of those players last year that started, but now with the influx of transfers, he's giving them some help at the bench for the Raging Cajuns.
Guarded tightly by Marquetti. Brady Ellingson to set it up. Shot by Greener. Left it short. Hardy pulls it in.
Washington's been somewhat passive at the offensive end.
Miller guarded by Greener. Backdoor pass to Marquetti. Goes up for the jumper and rolls it home.
Nunzi overextended just a bit. Now Marquetti to three in the corner.
There's Ellingson for three. No good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by P.J. Hardy. Substitution for Iowa. Macy Daly, the sophomore, into the game.
Iowa struggling from the three-point line thus far in this game.
To connect, Bohannon 0 for 3 from 3. Team 0 for 5. So far in this first half.
This Iowa team is shooting very well from the line.
Pemsl, the bank's open for Cordell Pemsl.
Well, the lefty Pemsl is highly efficient, shot at over 60% last year, set a freshman record for Iowa in field goal percentage. Very efficient player.
Here's Russell. I'm saying keep an eye on him. The little step back jumper is good for the freshman out of Alexandria, Louisiana.
Well, Russell is their leading scorer. He's actually just under 17 a game. He's still coming off the bench. Number 0 in red. That dude can play.
Ellingson can't hit. Now Washington wants to run the floor, and a blocking foul called on Pemsl. And that will take us to a media timeout. 8-8 here, just under 12 minutes to go in this first half. You're watching the inaugural Cayman Islands Classic. At 8 here in the first half.
Well, we talked about this young man in the open. He had 131 offensive rebounds last season. 22 double-doubles. He's on the Lou Henson watch list. One of the best mid-major players in the country.
Those two free throws are the first points for Washington here in this afternoon's game.
This pressure on the ball by Louisiana is really making the Hawks work.
Nunge fighting hard inside, able to finish.
Well, that was a play after timeout. Fran McCaffery drew up Nunge at 6'11" with a height advantage, put him right in the post, took his three-man and posted him, cleared out the weak side. Nice play by Coach Fran.
10-10 is our score with 11:05 to play here in the first half. There's a feed inside, the kick out. Three-point shot for Hardy is good. And P.J. Hardy able to break the ice on that three-point field goal number.
And that was a nice play by Bryce Washington. Felt the pressure, sucked in the double team, kicked it out.
Nunge flips it to Pemsl, but Nunge gets whistled for the offensive foul as Washington stepped in and stood his ground.
Washington making plays at both ends, and Nunge a little upset. I think Bryce Washington might have sold some of that contact. But he was outside the restricted area, took the blow, and now we see that three-quarter court pressure. You got Nunge on the point there, number 2. He is 6'11" with a tremendous wingspan. Really causes some issues with his ability to trap. Macy Daly in the action also has stepped up because of the Connor McCaffery home with mono. Gave Daly an opportunity to play.
Yeah, how much more pressure does that put on Jordan Bohannon? You do have Daly and Ellingson to run the point, but
Christian Williams transferred. They're a little thin at that point guard spot.
Marquetti off the iron, no good, and Ellingson with the rebound. Nunge goes inside to Kriener, but the pass is off the mark. And it'll go back to the Raging Cajuns.
4th turnover by the Iowa Hawkeyes. 5 by Louisiana. Well, it's been a little bit rough sledding here early in this game as the teams try to settle down.
There you see head coach Bob Marlin for Louisiana. On top left of your screen there in his 8th year. 19 years overall. Over 350 Division I wins. And coming off their 3rd 20-win season in the last 4 years.
And Bob Marlin's done an outstanding job and coached the decade in the Southland Conference from his days at Sam Houston. He could coach. We got 2 great coaches in this game. Fran McCaffrey, Bob Marlin.
Marlin spent 12 years at Sam Houston State. Here's Russell.
And ironically, got his start at Pensacola Community College, followed Kirk Spraw, who is now on the Iowa bench. So, once again, basketball connected.
Russell, the deep 3 with the shot clock under 5. And it's a 6-point Raging Cajuns lead.
Cedric Russell can flat out play. The freshman for the Raging Cajuns.
Penzel out to Kriener. Shot left short, rebound to Hardy.
Kriener got a nice look, just pulled the string. And there's that length of Nunge.
Nunge unable to keep it from going out of bounds. We'll stay with Louisiana. Substitution, Marcus Stroman and Jakeenan Gant back into the game. And for Iowa, Garza, Cook, Bohannon, and Moss join Nunge on the floor.
Brad, we talked about the second 5 of Iowa scoring just under 40 points a game. They struggled here in that stretch they were in. Now, Fran going back with all his starters, plus Jack Nunge at the wing.
Russell to Miller, feeds it inside. Nice hands inside. Gant able to finish.
Well, that's a high-low play that the Raging Cajuns worked on yesterday. Excellent feed by Justin Miller. Gant got his defender on an island. Good footwork.
6 points, leads all scorers here in this game. Now able to keep possession. Inside to Cook. Shot clock at 5. With the left hand, no good. It's Miller on the rebound.
Well, only one offensive rebound by the Hawks thus far, and that's one of their fortes.
Foul called on Cook of Iowa. 8:27 to play here in the first half. It's Louisiana by 8. Doing our opening game of the Cayman Island Classic.
Let me make a correction. You were right, Brad. They did go to Cuba. I thought for a second it was Puerto Rico.
It's the finish by Gant. And right now, Gant providing nearly the entire offense for this whole game. 8 points now.
Transfer from Missouri. High school player of the year out of Georgia. Big time rebounder and shot blocker.
Springfield, Georgia native, and a miscue by Iowa. Nunge and Garza fight for the rebound. It falls out of bounds. So a missed free throw by Gant, but the Raging Cajun an opportunity to add to this 10-point lead.
Well, the Raging Cajuns just picked 5th in the Sun Belt, which shocked me with 4 starters back, 3 transfers added. This is a talented team.
Sometimes it takes transfers a while to kind of find the flow of the team, but what you've seen from Marchetti and Gant and Stroman, pretty good. There's Justin Miller.
Well, there's the strength of their bench. Miller, a 31-game starter last year, now off the bench. Bob Marlin thought his bench could match the bench of Iowa's.
Moss puts it on the hardwood. Now it's Bohannon to bail him out. Inside to Cook. Flips it to Nunge. Takes it to the rim and fouled hard by Bartley. And that brings us to another media timeout. It's Louisiana 22, Iowa 10. It'll be Nunge at the free throw line. His Iowa career, his overall career, 388. So two coaches with some huge success.
Well, and Friends did an outstanding job. They were in the NIT last year, but then 3 NCAAs prior to that, 2 NITs back in his early seasons, and he has a wealth of talent on this Iowa team. He likes to recruit long players that can play different positions.
On his 388 career wins, too. That was at the start of the season. His 12th win this year will be career win number 400. Nunge gets 1 of 2. Cuts the lead to 11 with 7:46 to go here in the first half.
Now, Iowa hasn't had many opportunities to step to the press because they haven't scored field goals.
There's Bartley in transition, knocked away by Cook. And they say last touch by the Raging Cajuns.
Bob Marlin said, we're going to attack the press and try to score, but you got to be able to finish, get a shot up on the rim. Bob Marlin not happy with the official on that play.
Bohannon guarded by the South Carolina transfer Stroman. Here's a feed inside for Garza, ripped away by Miller.
It was a high-low look. Cook left it short. Miller, nice read and a steal.
Garza with the height advantage, but Miller getting more physical with the young 6'11 freshman. Stroman out to Bartley, and that's a three-pointer. Lead up to 14.
And Bartley's knocked down 6 of 15 threes coming into this game.
Moss for 3, no good.
Hawks still struggling from beyond the arc. You can see the post players. The Raging Cajuns are outside, setting these double high screens, pulling the Iowa post players out on the floor. Open up driving lanes.
There's Miller working against Cook.
Good play by Nunge.
There's Gant. The shot up, no good. And Gant still leading all scorers in this game. Bohannon off the window, no good. Garza, a couple of offensive rebounds, and foul goes against Gant.
Brad, you've seen a bit of frustration now on the Iowa Hawkeyes' faces as they've continued to misfire.
Coach Marlin looking for a jump ball there as well.
We said Iowa's really good with their OB under, so let's see what they have here. Moss, number 4, to come off some double screens here.
Ahmad Wagner into the game for Iowa. Malik Marquetti in for the Raging Cajuns. Rebound pass to Moss. Shot no good. Cook the follow, and the tip won't go.
Well, Cook almost an opportunity to dunk that in. In fact, he's a little upset because he was above the rim. He had to wait for the ball to roll off before he could catch it.
Isaiah Moss whistled for the reach-in foul. As Marquetti was dribbling quickly to the Raging Cajun end of the floor.
You got an Iowa team and averaging a wealth of points. And they are held to 11 so far in this game. Averaging 91 per game.
This is Miller getting the inside to Washington. The kick out. 3-point try no good by Marquetti. Garza with the rebound. His 4th of the game. 3-point try by Moss. Weave the shot off. Illegal screen. That goes against Garza inside. And quickly up off the bench, Ryan Kriener, the sophomore, as Garza will check out. It's his first personal foul.
Now you see Iowa going to a zone. And Bob Marlin told me, he said, I don't think the Hawks can guard my guys man-to-man.
Rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Louisiana. Ellingson checks in for Moss for Iowa. 5:25 to go here in the first half. Louisiana taking advantage of Iowa's shooting woes here in this first half. They have a 14-point lead. Marchetti feeds it inside. Miller goes up, but he's stripped by Wagner.
Good read by Wagner.
Wagner now needs some help. Over to Ellingson, open three, off the mark, and the rebound to Washington. Iowa still cannot connect from outside. Backdoor pass, Bartley blocked by Kriener. With the rebound, though, is Miller. Loose ball now, gathered by Ellingson. Bohannon lost it, and now a breakaway for Stroman. Dishes it back to Bartley, and a timeout taken by Iowa.
Well, Bohannon went up to shoot it, lost control, bounced it. He knew he couldn't pick it up, but you should do that situation, Brad, because it...
Both redshirted last year, sat out that transfer rule. Bartley is in his second season playing, the transfer out of BYU. Sat out and was named Sun Belt Newcomer of the Year. 13 all-conference pick. And Marchetti also in his first year of action, but as you mentioned, Kevin, practicing with the team last year, getting to know the system.
I really trying to get some high lows.
Benzel stripped by Stroman from behind. And now Wagner loses it, and they say Raging Cajun basketball.
And Louisiana has really shrunken the court defensively. You can see that high-low play. It's the guard from up top that's sticking their hand and they're disrupting that pass. Pimsleur got it knocked loose.
9th turnover now for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
The 9 turnovers and 0 for 7 from the three-point range. That is a recipe to get beat. The Cajuns have knocked in 3 triples.
Stroman to Washington, and Washington gets one to go, and that's his first field goal of the game. He's got 4 points.
A nice baseline move by Washington.
Foul inside goes against Lauren Stalcup, the senior at 6'11". Transfer out of Snow College in Utah. Sends Kriener to the free throw line.
Well, this is a good thing for Iowa. If you can get to the free throw line, get some points on the board, the clock stop, takes a little pressure off your teams. They're struggling to shoot it from the field. Also allows Iowa to set up their pressure. Boy,
how many balls, the free throws.
How many balls have we seen do that? They've gone down and popped back out.
Louisiana, Oregon with an 18-point lead.
And Iowa back in their man-to-man.
Feed inside to Stalcup. Looking against Kriener, looking for some help. 5 on the shot clock now. Stroman backs it out. Now has to fire a deep 3. Around the rim, no good.
Tremendous pressure on Bohannon.
Marchetti at 6'6". Guarding the 6-foot Jordan Bohannon. Shot by Wagner, no good.
Wagner with an off-balance shot there. High degree of difficulty. And now Nunge going to report back in.
So when you're struggling like this, Kevin, as a former coach, what do you tell your team to try and get some shots? Looking for higher percentage shots?
You've got to move the ball better, and you want to get your defense to create some offense for you, but Raging Cajuns have been too good with the basketball.
There's Washington able to get it in off the glass once again. And now Bryce Washington, his second field goal of the game. Bohannon wants a 3 and finally breaks the ice for the Iowa outside shooting.
And that one tried to pop back out, Brad. It went down, up, and back in. That last play, though, Washington gets his man on an island. A little isolation play by the Raging Cajuns. Big hoop by Bohannon.
And it was 0 for 3 from outside before that shot. And the drive is Russell. Missed it. Stalcup able to follow.
Well, Bob Marlin talked about driving into the paint. Defender help comes over, allows Stalcup for the easy putback.
Point lead here. for Louisiana. 10 on the shot clock now for Iowa.
And the Iowa fans have become quiet. The Raging Cajuns are making a bunch of noise.
Wagner tried to call timeout, but out of bounds it goes. You got to have full possession, and you got to have a foot on the floor, right, Kev?
Well, new rules. You can no longer jump out of bounds. That was instituted about 4 years ago, and call a timeout. But good play by Wagner, because if he threw it into his backcourt, the speed of Louisiana, they could have picked up and got another breakaway layup, because they have got some points in transition. 6 fast break points by the Raging Cajuns.
Timeout. Just because Iowa hasn't had a lot of made baskets to be able to set it up.
Excellent points. You got to either get to the free throw line or make some baskets. Good spacing by Louisiana in their press offense.
There's a tip pass by Stroman. There's the turnover. Bohannon lobs it up for Nunge. Finishes with the foul.
Well, Brad, you asked about the timeout. That's exactly what Bob Marlin did not want to happen. Any momentum from Iowa, because you know they're a dangerous offensive team. How about Nunge on that play? That was not a good pass. He was able to catch it outside of his area code and still guide it to the basket. While he gets the contact, chance for a three-point play. And as you mentioned, Brad, they can set the press again.
Malik Marquetti picks up his second foul. Nunge gets the free throw, and you do see that pressure with Nunge at the top, too, at 6'11". You got huge length. And there's another tipped ball, but the kick. The Raging Cajuns, the inbound on that side.
And just a freshman, Jack Nunge has a high basketball IQ, and Fran says you just tell him something once, he goes, I got it, coach. Bob Marlin to get a little concerned. You have to have excellent spacing, and your ball handler's got to have 3 places to throw the basketball out of the trap. And you've got a big man like that, Bryce Washington, can help you handle it.
Nunge guarding Stroman.
6'11" on the point guard. He's going to try and drive him.
Flips it across the lane. Miller gets it high enough off the glass. It goes.
Well, the dribble penetration is causing the help defender to come over. Great passing. Easy baskets for the Raging Cajuns.
About a 6-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Game clock at 20. See the shot clock above the hoop. Now it's at 10. Nunge goes inside to Pemsl, and it's stripped away.
There's that double in the post we talked about. The guard came in and took it from the baseline.
Stroman behind the back to Washington. Final seconds. Pemsl runs out of time. And it's a 20-point lead for Louisiana over Iowa at halftime.
What a play by Marcus Stroman. Steals the ball, the double on the post. They got 6 from Nunge and 4 from Pemsl. There's 10 of their 17 points are off the bench.
And Nunge, the high scorer for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Meanwhile, for Louisiana, it's Bryce Washington and Jakeenan Gant, both with 8 points, and Washington 5 rebounds to go along with it. Marcus Stroman, 6 assists in that first half. These guys are going to work offensively.
And Stroman is really bottled up, Bohannon.
And that is thrown out by Gant. Garza, the turnaround jumper. Gant says, inside.
Well, Garza has yet to score in this game. Came in averaging double figures for Iowa. Has not gotten any good looks.
This is Cook inside.
There's that double on the post again.
Garza kicks to an open Bohannon for 3. That's good. Iowa needs more of those, as they were 1 for 9 in the first half from 3-point range, and Wagner picks up a foul.
Well, Stroman peeked off of Bohannon at the basketball. Bohannon slid to the open wood for a nice-looking 3. So Iowa now adjusting the fact that the Raging Cajuns are going to double the post. They've got to play off of that and try to get some open threes.
6 points now for Bohannon. Ties Nunge for a team high. There's a kick to the corner from Marchetti. No good. Cook tips the rebound up, and it's out of bounds. It will stay with Louisiana.
Well, this has been a battle on the glass. You know, Iowa's got the height, but the athleticism of the Raging Cajuns, they crashed the boards.
OB play right to Bryce Washington, the senior, able to finish into double figures now with 10 points. And there's a throwaway by Iowa, but stepping out of bounds was Bartley.
Now, we don't have the replay, Brad, but when Cook or Garza in the post, there's a weak side defender coming baseline. That time they came on the pass and almost got the turnover. It's really bottled up this inside game of the Hawkeyes.
Bohannon jumper at the free throw line, no good.
Numbers.
On the run is Stroman. Reverse layup, good by Bartley.
Nice finish by Bartley. Went underneath the rim so he couldn't be blocked by the Iowa defender.
7 points for Bartley. Garza tries a three. Rebounded by Washington. Stroman quickly into the lane. Almost out of control, but able to get it to Gant. And Gant, he's been the answer for Louisiana here today. He's also up to 10 points now.
And he's made his plays off his defender, helping off dribble penetration. Stroman splitting defenders. So Garza or Cook have to come over to help out. And it's allowed Shekinah Grant to make a living in the paint. He's going to pay property tax as long as he's been in the paint.
Washington's second personal foul. That's Moss getting blocked on the opener. Bartley the rejection. Here's Washington, drives, and he draws the foul from Tyler Cook.
Well, Iowa are back on their heels defensively. Louisiana with great speed. They're getting some numbers here in the second half in their transition opportunities, and now we see a number of the reserves for Iowa.
Bryce Washington at the free throw line. First free throw is good. Now has 11 points to go along with his 6 rebounds.
Slow start for Bryce Washington. We highlight him in this game, the man to watch. Second team preseason Sun Belt pick, and he has really flexed his muscles here late in the second half. In the beginning of the late in the first half, beginning of the second half.
It's 1 of 2. Substitutions for Iowa. Cordell Pemsl, Jack Nunge, Nasheed Daly, and Ryan Kriener in the game. Pemsl skips it to Bohannon. Nunge trying to get it inside. It's tipped away by Washington.
The defense of the high-low play by Iowa. Louisiana's defense has been excellent.
Stroman to Washington. An offensive foul called. Wave off the basket. Creating a little separation there with the Iowa defender.
Well, it was a great play on the playground by Washington. He goes up and he pushes the defender away with his left forearm as he cups the ball in his right, kisses off the window.
And that's 3 now on Bryce Washington, so he'll head to the bench. Into the game, Justin Miller, the 6'7" sophomore. Miller with 4 points.
Stroman's defense of the ball has really caused problems for the ball screen offense of Iowa.
Bohannon wants another 3. He gets it.
Well, they swung Bohannon underneath and let him come off a picket fence. Couple of screens, get him free because Stroman has been in his grill throughout the first half.
Since Louisiana offensively slow it down just a little bit. They've got a 20-point lead. You still have 17 minutes to go in the game, but start to work a little bit of clock already here. Is that the strategy or just patience? There's the pull-up jumper. Won't go. Offensive rebound, though, by Miller. And again, they back it out.
Well, Brad, it appears that they're blacking out because early in this first half, they were playing downhill with some numbers. Now, Iowa's defense set, so execution in the half court by Louisiana.
Marchetti, 3-point try by Bartley's off the mark.
Bartley, not a great three-point shooter, but the clock was running down.
They're heading off the screen.
Sherman just going to ride the top of those ball screens.
Greener, the backdoor pass for Daly. They tipped away by the Raging Cajuns. Stays with Iowa.
Now, Iowa has two players that are big factors. Nicholas Barrett broke his pinky finger on his left hand. Hopefully he'll be back in action when this tournament ends. But he's an energy guy for Iowa. And then coach's son, Connor McCaffrey, with mono. He was playing that backup point guard position for Iowa. It allowed Bohannon to play more as a two-guard, Brad, to get him some open threes. That luxury they don't have it with Connor McCaffrey, home in Iowa City, trying to get healthy from a bad case of mono.
It's Louisiana by 21. Here in game one of the Cayman Island Classic. Here's Pemsl inside. Stripped from behind. Bartley with the steal. As Gant regathers it, gets fouled from behind. It goes on Kriener. And the timeout on the floor. It's a 21-point Louisiana lead. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More second half action coming your way from the 2007.
The luxury that Bob Garland has because of his depth, Justin Miller, who started 31 games last year, can come in and spell Bryce Washington, who has 3 fouls. So Bryce can sit here till about the 12-minute mark if needed. They'll zone her by Iowa all that time out.
Let's come out in the 2-3 zone.
Their problem hasn't been so much in the defensive end, it's been in the offensive end.
They had the trap in the corner, but left open underneath is Miller. The lead to 23 here. Louisiana doubling up the Iowa Hawkeyes. There's Kriener inside, reverse layup, good.
Good read by Kriener because there was no double by the Cajuns on that trip. I'm not sure why. They've had great success. Kriener read it and scored.
Kriener's first points of this basketball game. Louisiana turns it over. Iowa gets it back.
Well, Iowa has not had much scoring from the post players. Cook with only 2. Garza has yet to score. And we just saw that basket by Ryan Kriener. So only 6 points by the post players other than Pimzo, who has a pair.
Kriener wants another one. No good. Cook with the putback tip gets undercut. Foul will be called on Gant here. And Cook gets up. He's all right.
Now, Iowa's a little more success from the arc in the second half as they've hit 2 of 3, both by Bohannon.
Discussion right now, they're going to say Iowa ball underneath the basket, but Iowa coaches saying that Cook was tipping that in. He should get 2 free throws. Agree, disagree?
I'd like to see the replay, but I'll take that basket right there.
Cook with the answer. Gets 2 by going up top.
Now both coaches have excelled at OB unders. The special teams of college basketball.
So back-to-back baskets by Iowa, and there's a turnover. Iowa trying to put together a little run here this second half. Macy, no good. Foul inside, and free throws coming for Iowa. New life here shown by the Hawkeyes.
And it's been Nunji with a great defensive play at the other end, the freshman, and now Ryan Kriener crashing the glass. Second chance opportunities for Iowa.
Kevin, that is the 4th foul on Jakeenan Gant. So outside of Washington, it's been Gant that's been the offensive answer, and now 4 personal fouls here with 14:31 to go. And up off the bench, Lauren Stallcup into the game. 6'11" senior Stallcup, a transfer from Snow College.
Stallcup averaged about 4 a game, and he got an easy one in the first half. Hawks get a little more confidence now. This zone defense has caused some problems for Louisiana after that first easy basket. Look for Cedric Russell came in this game, a three-point shooter for the Raging Cajuns.
Marchetti open on the wing, and it's good. Marchetti, he's got 5 points now after that three. Bohannon looking for the answer. There it is.
And Bohannon turned a corner off that. Just enough of that ball screen to answer Marchetti's three.
Amping up that defensive pressure. Three-point shot by Hardy off the mark. Rebound to Makesheed Daly.
Well, the zone is forcing Louisiana to play around the perimeter.
Inside to Kriener, won't go. Nunge the follow.
Well, how about that play by the freshman, Jack Nunge?
You see the Iowa bench up on their feet.
Well, they want a foul call on that as Nunge came crashing from the weak side. The zone been very good for the Hawks, especially with Washington and Gant on the bench, Brad. They've got young players inside other than Miller.
Three-point try by Bartley, in and out, no good.
Again, Louisiana settling for the three ball, the ball not being penetrated inside the circle.
Cook almost goes coast to coast after the rebound. Gets fouled and will go to the line to shoot two. Making a case, Kevin, for another backup point guard right there, Tyler Cook.
Well, Cook has really improved his game at handling the basketball, making good decisions with it between his freshman and sophomore year. Cook made the Big Ten All-Freshman team last season. And there's another area, Brad, where he has really improved. Tyler Cook is at the free throw line. Shot in the mid 50% from the line last year, has improved greatly. And if you're a big man, you'll get fouled. You got to be able to make them from the charity stripe.
12.3 points per game last year, was second best on the team. 5.3 rebounds per game. That was third best. Oh, at this, Kevin, he made the final 18 shots of his freshman season.
Well, again, we get the pressure. Iowa, you can feel the momentum start to turn a little bit as Iowa's got this down to 14 points. And your goal is, can we get it to single digits? Under 10.
Stroman backs it out for Louisiana. Miller inside attacking Cook. His shot was off the mark, but Marchetti, the offensive rebound, now in the lane. Gets it back to Miller and he gets Kriener up in the air.
And Bob Marlin brought Bryce Washington back in the game. To Keenan Gant on the bench with 4. Washington with more experience inside for the Raging Cajuns.
Iowa trim the lead down to 19. Miller's first free throw is good.
Again, when you're struggling to shoot the basketball against the zone, to get yourself at the free throw line, Justin Miller, very effective free throw shooter, coming in this game at 80%.
Kriener, by the way, committed his second foul. Miller gets both. Lead back to 16. Now we're trying to keep this momentum they've gained, and there's a foul up top by Russell. Russell commits his first personal. That's the 7th team foul here. 1-and-1 opportunity coming for Iowa. So now an opportunity to get to the free throw line a lot here. This final 12-13, Kevin.
Gives Iowa the opportunity to score points with the clock stopped. And it also allows them to set up the pressure back to their zone.
You got to make them. Daly gets the first. A sophomore out of Beechwood, Ohio.
And Daly was deep on the rotation, but we mentioned the injury to Nicholas Bear and the illness to Connor McCaffrey, it's given Macy Daly an opportunity for some playing time, and he has responded in an excellent fashion.
He had 11 points in the second game of the season against Alabama State, 10 points in the opener against Chicago State.
Now that pressure took 10 seconds off the shot clock, and now the zone by Iowa. They've got the shooter, Cedric Russell, in the game.
Petty goes up top for Stroman, forces up a wild three, gets his own rebound, and then shot it right away. Iowa rebounded it. That shot clock should have reset after that three-point attempt.
I think he just hit the backboard, though, Brad.
Nunge can't get it to go. Cleared by Washington. Washington playing with 3 fouls as well for Louisiana, but he's got 11 points, 6 rebounds.
That was a dirty rebound by Washington. He's up in traffic to score that basketball. Bohannon knows right where Cedric Russell's at all time.
Washington kicks out to Stroman, now up top. Marchetti, shot clock winding down. Step back with 3 on the shot clock, no good, but an offensive rebound by Miller takes it to the rim, and a foul on Iowa.
Now, one of the problems you have in that zone, Brad, is the ability to rebound out of it because you don't have a man to block out. The Raging Cajuns have created some problems crashing the
foul trouble here.
No question. Cedric Russell, we talked, that great three-point shooter, the freshman for Raging Cajuns, has not got any open looks here in the second half. He is a zone buster. Keep your eye on 0 in red. He's got the red headband because he can flat out fill it up.
Just over the front edge of the rim. Miller gets the first free throw to go. Louisiana's lead back to 15.
Much needed drink of water for the Raging Cajuns.
Miller gets them both.
Well, Miller's just a sophomore, but he plays like a veteran senior. 31 starts last year. Where Stroman has been a pest on Bohannon.
And a foul here against the Raging Cajuns. Thought we were going to have a kick ball for a second, but Marchetti gets whistled for the foul.
Well, you made a great point, Brad. Well, 1-1 for Iowa. They're going to be at the free throw line for the rest of this contest. There's a foul 30 feet from the basket, but it's going to allow Isaiah Moss to get a 1-on-1 opportunity.
Moss, leading scorer for Iowa, coming in 13.7 points per game.
Well, Moss
here is good. 7 for 7 now on the season at the free throw line.
But he's just 1 for 7 this game from the field. Moss has struggled to get untracked, and he hit that first field goal early.
Isaiah Moss able to get them both. Iowa continuing to show that pressure. Trying to come from behind. Trailing by 14.
Well, again, 10 seconds off the shot clock, and that's why we've seen these late launches from the three-point line. The pressure is cutting down the time.
Washington, the kick out. Russell, no good from 3, and Penzel with the one-handed rebound.
And Bartley crashed it hard.
Bohannon wide open, layup on the left side as the sea parted.
Well, Stroman has been guard Bohannon, but he had to pick up another Iowa player. Bohannon takes it right down Main Street.
It's a 12-point game with 10 minutes to go.
We said the goal for Iowa is to get that thing in single digits, under 10. They're close.
One stop and a three-point try away from doing it. Russell's shot, no good. Offensive rebound, though, and then a foul by Moss. For Moss, that'll be his second. Largest lead, 24 points by Louisiana. That was with 18:06 to go here in the second. They've led for over 20 minutes of this basketball game, Kevin. Iowa has it down to 12.
Iowa strictly zone here in the second half.
1 three for Bartley, and it's good. A big answer for Louisiana from the senior.
Well, that's because the freshman Cedric Russell drew so much attention. They overloaded the side, and Russell finds the open Bartley.
This is trying no good. Here comes Stroman. Stroman wants to try to attack. Defense by Bohannon. Just outside that lane enough. There's Pemsl inside.
And no double. Pemsl's got to take it to the rim.
Moss into the lane. Draws a foul. That goes against Louisiana. I think this goes on Miller. And it does. Justin Miller inside. Just his first personal, but free throws coming for the Hawks, and it's Moss back to the line. So free throw shooting, Kevin, maybe never more important to the Iowa Hawkeyes than being in the bonus and trailing here in this second half.
9 for 12 for Iowa from the free throw line. That three by Bartley was huge. Daly almost got the turnover.
It's a fancy dribbling by Washington to be able to break that press.
You hear the Iowa bench calling the overload is Russell.
And the flip to Washington for the finish.
Well, Bartley got in the seam of the zone.
Nice save on the floor. Stroman throws it ahead. Washington, the flush. Louisiana's lead back to 17.
That was a great play by Cedric Russell. Got on the ground, able to get the pass up before he was called for traveling.
Daly, a deep two. It's good.
A good spacing by Iowa and patience. But Louisiana continue to get those baskets off turnovers.
15-point lead. 7:40 to go here, second half.
Well, it's really turned into a danger area for Iowa because the zone's going to slow the game down. They need possessions.
Shot clock under 5. Russell for 3, no good. The rebound rolls out of bounds. Iowa gets it back. Timeout on the floor. 7:24 to go. Louisiana's at one time 24-point lead is down to 15. We'll be back with more of our second half action when we come back.
You know, last year they relied on Peter Jock in these situations, and Jock led the Big Ten in scoring. The one senior on this team. But Iowa returns, a large percentage of their shooting, their scoring, and rebounding.
Iowa basketball, Moss driving, and it's been that kind of day for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Moss's layup won't go. We saw a lot of that in the first half, and then Bartley, the quick answer. Louisiana quickly the offensive end after those Iowa misses.
Louisiana has outstanding speed and upper body strength to finish in traffic. Bartley with just a great move there to finish. And there's another quick hands by the Raging Cajuns.
From behind, but Daly able to get it back. Then Moss with the open jumper.
And Moss, look what I found as he slid to the corner. Thought there was going to be a turnover. Turned it into 3.
Stroman close to the out of bounds edge, and Bohannon called for the foul. Coach McCaffrey not happy with that call. That sends Louisiana to the free throw line. 17th foul against Iowa. So Stroman steps up to the line. 71% free throw shooter.
And also for Louisiana, they have brought back into the game Jakeenan Gant. The Missouri transfer had outstanding first half for the Raging Cajuns.
Playing with 4 fouls.
Yeah, Bob Marlin's had to manage some foul situations in this game. did an outstanding job.
Bohannon the floater.
Well, Stroman has speeded up Bohannon. Stroman defensively is outstanding.
Stroman with the basketball, transfer from South Carolina. Sat out last year due to the transfer rule. It's the kick to Marchetti. The drive no good. Bohannon the rebound and then fouled by Marchetti. And that sends Jordan Bohannon to the free throw line. And that's 4 on Marchetti.
So Bob Marlin's got a decision to make now. He's got Marchetti with 4 in the game. He's got
Gant with 4 as well, right? Washington, Bartley both playing with 3 fouls. Jordan Bohannon, a 91% free throw shooter, has only missed 1 free throw this entire season. First free throw is good. Substitutions for Iowa: Nunji, Kriener, and Cook. Cedric Russell into the game for Louisiana.
Yeah, Russell in as a shooter against this zone.
Russell just a freshman, but 20 points in the game against Savannah State. 15 points against Ole Miss in their opener.
He was ranked one of the top recruits in the state of Louisiana. Bob Marlin said we had to work to get him. Big time player. Just a freshman.
Bohannon, 1 of 2, leaves the Louisiana lead at 13.
I said this zone slows down this game, but you got to make sure if you're Iowa that's one and done possession.
Deep 3 off the back iron. Long rebound tipped around, and Moss comes up with it.
Now, Stroman's not a three-point shooter, but he's been ball in his hands with the clock running down.
Blocking foul goes against Stroman. That's his second foul. Taking charge is Moss. Running the floor. Moss, the 6'5" sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois, and Simeon High School. Coach McCaffrey says he has new confidence this year.
Well, he came to this game shooting 56% from the arc. And we've seen some real spark out of Isaiah Moss here in the second half as he's tried to lead this Iowa comeback.
Isaiah Moss now into double figures with 10 points after that first free throw. Just 2 of 10 shooting from the floor. And it's down to 11. Closing in on that single-digit mark.
Big possession for Louisiana.
And here's a good look inside. Quick basket by Justin Miller, breaking the pressure.
Well, Ryan Kriener came up too high and let Miller get behind him for the easy basket.
Foul called on Miller. That's his second.
Now you can see on your screen there that Fran McCaffrey talking to both Cook and Kriener on the back of that press, trying to get their assignments because Kriener, huge mistake, let a man get behind him. But part of that is because of Bob Marlin's press offense, Brad. He's got his floor spacing really well, so when they break the pressure, you make a mistake, they are going to attack and try to score at the end of Iowa's press.
Jordan Bohannon gets both free throws this trip after a rare miss just seconds ago. 5 minutes to play here in the second half.
Yeah, Bohannon with 15, Moss with 11 as they try to lead this comeback. Raging Cajuns trying to overload this zone.
I've got 17 now for Bohannon after those free throws. There's a nice answer by Bartley. He's into double figures. He's got 14 for Louisiana.
Well, Bartley has driven the seam on the zone when it gets reversed numerous times.
He also commits another foul trying to get in the passing lane.
Frank Bartley, the newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt last year. He's the transfer from BYU. Strong and powerful wing player. He has found the holes in the Iowa offense on the reversal. Just putting his shoulder down, driving to the front of the rim.
Free throw good for Moss. Moss with 6.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds per game last year as a freshman. Taking another big step forward for Iowa this season.
Well, huge second half by Isaiah Moss.
Iowa stays with that zone D. Down 11 here, 4:15 to go.
Here he comes again.
Bartley attacking the rim, finishes with a left hand. And a timeout taken by Louisiana before that was inbounded. A 13-point lead. Iowa on the left. Louisiana in the red.
And we talked about the keys for Louisiana was attack off the bounce. They have driven it into the heart of the Iowa defense time and time again, led by Frank Bartley, and also ball security. 12 turnovers for Louisiana. Many of those came early in this game.
Points in the paint. Huge advantage for Louisiana, 44-18.
That's been second chance opportunities, dribble penetration led to those points in the paint.
Nungy goes inside to Kriener, flips it to Nungy, has it knocked away and then fouled. And so that takes us to another media timeout here. Frank Bartley whistled for the foul, and that's his 4th personal foul. So our final media timeout of this second half. We will take a break. 3:44 to go. It's Louisiana 68. Iowa fouls. You have Gant and Marchetti, who are on the bench with 4.
Yeah, Coach Marlowe now substituting a little defense for offense, so he's going to put those 2 on the bench.
Washington, however, stays in the game. He'll play with 4.
He needs his offensive team against the zone in here and his free throw shooters.
Nungy's second free throw won't go. Pemsl tried a crazy tip. That won't go, and now Nungy took an extra step.
Outstanding effort by Iowa attacking the glass, but came up empty. And now we've got a little different pressure. We got some full front pressure by Iowa trying to steal the inbounds.
And a timeout taken by Washington. That pressure was too much. Heads up play there by Washington to save the possession. 3:44 to go. Turnovers would be critical
as you're inbounding. It's a difficult position when you're playing a team like Iowa, different types of pressure. Bryce Washington he's surveying the defense.
No surprise they continue their full court pressure, trying to create turnovers and quick baskets.
You'll see more aggressive traps.
Down 12. Iowa trying to get a turnover. Louisiana, meanwhile, they've been able to get some easy baskets out of the turnover from time to time.
But Iowa has had to go to man as this clock is running down. They had abandoned the zone.
Bartley drives, flips to Washington. Throws it out for Stroman. The 3-ball no good. Kriener, a one-handed rebound.
Yeah, Stroman 0 for 4 from the 3, 0 for 8 from the field, but he's been an impact with 10 assists.
Guarded tightly by Stroman.
Well, the defense on the ball has been impressive by the Raging Cajuns.
Nungy's shot will not go. And a rebound grabbed by Miller. And a foul now going against Iowa. It goes against Kriener. That'll be his 4th personal foul.
Justin Miller, an excellent free throw shooter, 4 for 4 in this game. Came in 80% shooter for the season. Just a sophomore, but he plays well beyond his years. Number 3 there, Justin Miller. Started 31 games last year for the Ragin' Cajuns. Now we have another review on the monitor, and that gives Fran McCaffery a chance to gather his troops and a starter last season. The 3 transfers that Bob Marlin brought in took starting spots, but it really strengthened his bench with experience.
Miller, who's up at the line, 31 starts as a true freshman last season, averaged 11 points per game, 4th best on the team, as 5 rebounds per contest, though was 2nd best for the Ragin' Cajuns last season.
And also Louisiana dominating the glass, 36 rebounds is just 31 for Iowa. 10 of those offensive for the Ragin' Cajuns. Now they're going to set a little pressure of their own.
Miller pushes the lead to 14 points for Louisiana. He checks out as Gant comes into the game. He's playing with 4.
Moss. The on-ball defense. The Ragin' Cajuns have been outstanding.
Now Bohannon down the center of the lane, gets a layup to go.
Little rub off of Ryan Kriener. Kriener with a great delivery.
Strowman in trouble momentarily. Washington gets it ahead to Bartley. 2 minutes to go now.
I've been really impressed by Bryce Washington. Perfect from the field, has handled the pressure.
There's Strowman blocked. Coach Marlin wanted a foul. Bohannon kicks it out to Moss for 3. It's good. The lead down to 9. Minute 51 to go.
Get your hands team in. If you're Bob Marlin, you guys that can catch and pass the basketball.
Washington up and break the press with Strowman. Throws it ahead for Bartley and gets fouled by Kriener. And for Kriener, that's number 5. And so Ryan Kriener's day is done. 3 points, 4 rebounds, a couple assists to the Iowa big man.
Bartley's first trip to the free throw line this game. 6 for 8 on this short season.
Kriener finds an applause from the Iowa fans. Macy Daly checks in.
Justin Miller gets a big hand from the Louisiana fan base. Gant, the long defender and shot blocker. Louisiana back in the game.
Gant and Washington down low. Bartley at the free throw line. Pushes it back to double digits. Up by 10. 17 points now for Bartley.
Look for some subtle pressure by Louisiana now to take time off the clock.
Gets 1 of 2. Minute 41. Here's Moss trying to get to the rim. The layup no good. Rebound to Washington. And now nearly throwing it away, but a breakout play. Nobody back. Gant with the lay-in.
Well, all Iowa players were going a different direction, trying to chase that missed rebound and loose ball.
Bohannon, a deep 3. That's short. Rebound to Moss. Shot up and in. And with 1:08 to go, timeout taken by Iowa. It is back to a 10-point lead. But Kevin, that risk of
Bryce Washington triggered this inbounds. He has been just outstanding against this pressure. 4 guards and Bryce Washington on the court for Louisiana.
There's Marchetti on the dribble, fouled by Penzel. free throw shooting contest here down the stretch, at least as far as Louisiana is concerned.
McCarty's Marquette's first trips to the free throw line.
Marquette is 75% free throw shooter. This is the first of two.
Bob Marlin with Gant back in as he's playing some defense for offense. Gant, his rim protector.
Substituting Miller in on the defensive possessions. Gant in there offensively.
And we have another.
Quick look at the monitor. Players thought we were going to have a timeout. Time for a quick chat. But back to the free throw line goes now, Marquette.
If you're Louisiana, you're going to switch your perimeter screens and take away the three. Give up a two. Do not foul. If you're Iowa, you're going to have to try to run some action. Maybe screen the screener. Get open three.
Bohannon to Nunge. Nunge fires the three, a little off balance. Rebound grabbed by Bartley. Here's the throw ahead for Gant. And fouled by Bohannon on his way to flush one down.
Gant, the transfer from Missouri, with 12 points. He's got a couple runouts. Been really active on the glass.
This is the first meeting ever between these two schools, and it was a cold shooting opening 10 minutes for both teams. Louisiana really just the first team to get it going offensively today.
Well, their defense created offense for them early in the second half to get that wide margin. Then Iowa with the charge in the second half. The Cajuns able to hang on. And then the trips, they've been good at the free throw line, Brad. Became a free throw shooting contest here in the last 3 minutes for Louisiana, and they have proven they can make them.
Miller 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Gant.
There's that switch on the perimeter to take away the three.
Moss, the floater, won't go. The putback off the glass and good. It's an 11-point lead. And full court pass all the way ahead to Bartley. Flips it to Gant. One-handed jam. Gant with the exclamation point for Louisiana.
Jakeenan Gant is a rim runner.
Bohannon gets a lay-in with 27 seconds on the clock. Foul committed by Moss. For Moss, that's his third. 4 different players in double figures for Louisiana. Bartley with 17. Gant now with 16 after that flush. Washington with 15 and Miller with 14. Bartley an opportunity to add to his team high, 17.
And the senior from Baton Rouge, Frank Bartley, has been impressive. He really did some damage to Iowa's zone. They struggled early against the zone, Louisiana did in the second half. But Bartley then found some seams and was able to attack the rim.
Second free throw, no good by Bartley. Here's Moss all the way to the rim, a quick 2. It's a 9-point lead with 18.8 seconds to go. Well, Kevin, both teams back in action tomorrow. Dalton, a senior, leads the team in points, rebounds, field goal percentage, 3-point shooting. Kevin, he's played all 80 minutes of their first 2 basketball games. How about that?
I've got to watch him practice twice. This guy's a player, man. Him and Mike Dahl will be worth the price of admission with John Gray, Jim. And this is the first time that they've had a tournament like this in the Cayman Islands. Brad, this is going to be huge. And what an outstanding field Corey Hanks has done in his first time of coming to Caymans. Beautiful beaches. Great basketball.
This is John Gray Gym, part of the Truman Bowden Sports Complex.
I know you got a chance to go down the 7 Mile Beach yesterday and this morning take a little gander, and it is 7 miles long.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. Just 7 miles of sand.
Officially, it's an 11-point lead here. Here's Moss on the drive. That's swatted away by Gant. 12 seconds left up on the clock in this one.
If you're in the Sun Belt Conference, watch out for the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Pick 5th.
They'll be the surprise based off that preseason poll. You know, Kevin, sometimes us media guys just don't know anything.
Well, UT Arlington went into BYU with a big win. Of course, Troy representing the league in the NCAAs last year as they ran through the tournament. But Bob Marlin's got to be excited about the prospects of this team and extremely elated about their performance today.
Well, I was dropping back their defensive pressure. Coach McCaffrey over to shake hands with Bob Marlin. And the University of Louisiana handing the Iowa Hawkeyes their first loss of the season here in the Cayman Island Classic opener. Final score, 80-71.